Good morning, dear students. Today, I will explain chapter 14 in The Merchant of Venice. Let's start.
Chapter 14. The young judge saves Antonio. Shylock was sharpening his knife, preparing to take his pound of flesh. Graziano was angry with him and called him a lot of bad names. "I don't think you are a man," he shouted. "You are an animal." "I don't care if you shout," replied Shylock. "You cannot shout away the penalty. I stand for the law, but you want to break it." There was nothing that Bassanio or Graziano could say or do. Shylock would still not change his decision. A messenger arrived at the Duke's palace. He said he came from Padua and served Bellario. It was Nerissa, disguised in a man's clothes. Nobody recognized her. She gave the Duke a letter. The letter said Bellario was too sick to come to Venice. He thanked the Duke for writing to him about Shylock and Antonio. He thought it was very interesting. A very wise young judge from Rome was visiting him at the time, and they talked about it together. They read many books about it. In the end, he asked the young judge to go to Venice in his place. He asked the Duke to listen to him. "Although he is very young, he is very wise," said Bellario's letter. "He knows what I think about it. Please take notice of what he says. His name is Balthazar." The young Judge Balthazar was Portia, disguised in a man's clothes. Nobody recognized her. The Duke asked Antonio and Shylock to step forward. Portia told Shylock he was doing something very strange, but that Venetian law could not stop him. She told him that he should have mercy on the merchant Antonio. "Why must I have mercy?" he asked. "Who can make me be merciful?" "Nobody can make you have mercy," answered Portia. "It comes like rain from the sky. Nobody can make the rain come, and nobody can make you have mercy. It blesses the person who gives it, and also blesses the person who receives it. It is the strongest part of strong people. It is better than a king's crown. When we have mercy, we are most like God. Justice is useless without mercy. If we had only justice, it would be a very sad world. We ask for mercy, and we should try to show mercy to others." "I will show no mercy," answered Shylock. "I do not want it, and I will not give it. I want justice."
Okay, guys, let's discuss this part and explain the content of it. Shylock was preparing his knife to take the pound of flesh, and Graziano was angry. Bassanio and Graziano could not do or say anything to make Shylock change his decision. Nerissa arrived to Duke's palace, disguised as a messenger coming from Padua carrying a letter from Bellario. So now Nerissa's turn, or Nerissa's role, was as a messenger. She was disguised as a messenger, a man, as we said before. And she carried a letter to the Duke himself. The letter said that Bellario could not come to Venice as he was too sick. He told the Duke about the young judge coming from Rome to help the Duke, as he is a wise judge, although he is young. Who was that judge? That was Portia, disguised as a man also. The young judge was Portia in disguise. She spoke to Shylock that he was doing something strange, that the law cannot stop him, but the law cannot stop him, She told him to show mercy, but he refused. As we said before, guys, that was Shylock's golden chance to take revenge from Antonio. Portia told Shylock that nobody can make him have mercy, but mercy blesses the person who receives mercy and the person who gives it. Shylock also refused and said he did not need mercy, he wanted justice by taking the pound of flesh. This is the pound of flesh, there's a missing P. Okay, guys, let's continue listening to the rest of the chapter. Okay, guys. So let's continue what we have explained. Portia told Shylock that nobody can make him have mercy, as we said, and that mercy makes the person who receives it and the person who gives it a good person. Shylock refused and said he did not need mercy. He wanted justice by taking the pound of flesh. So now he insisted on what he wanted. He wanted to take the penalty. Portia, as the young judge, asked whether Antonio could pay the money, and Bassanio answered that he could pay 10 twice or even 10 times the money Antonio borrowed. Bassanio said that he give his hands, head or heart. This shows, guys, that Bassanio loved his friend so much, and he really appreciated what Antonio has done to him in the beginning of the story, when he lent him the money, or he asked him to take the money from Shylock and tell him that the money will be on Antonio. This means how much they appreciate their friendship. Okay, Portia said that they had to obey the law, tried to convince Shylock to take the money, but he refused and insisted on taking the pound of flesh. Shylock was happy that the judge said that they had to obey the law. For sure, guys, that was a trick from Portia. Let's see what will happen. Antonio was quiet and did not argue, as he has given up the fight against Shylock. Portia asked Antonio, to take off his shirt and asked Shylock to prepare the scales. The scales means it's the thing that we weigh things with. Then she asked about a doctor, but Shylock said that that was not in the contract. She asked for a doctor because when Shylock would take the pound of flesh from Antonio, there should be a doctor to rescue Antonio after that, so as not to die. But Shylock told her that that was not written in the contract. The thing that was written in the contract was that he should take a pound of flesh from him. Let's continue listening to the audio.
He said that if it wasn't in the contract, he could see no reason to do it. You can't make me do it unless it is in the contract, he reasoned. Portia asked Antonio if he wanted to say anything before Shylock took his penalty. He just wanted to say goodbye to Bassanio and asked him to tell Portia that Antonio was a good friend. Bassanio felt bad because his best friend was going to die. He remembered that Antonio borrowed the money from Shylock to help him. Antonio said he felt happy. He said he was lucky because he would never grow old and sick. He told Bassanio not to feel bad. Bassanio said he would do anything he could to save Antonio. He would die in his place or give up his wife if it could help Antonio. His wife Portia, disguised as a judge, was not very happy to hear this. Graziano said the same about his wife, Nerissa. She was disguised as a messenger and was not very happy to hear what he said. Shylock thought that they were not very good husbands. That's what the Christian Lorenzo is like, he thought. He got angry again when he remembered that his daughter Jessica was married to the Christian Lorenzo. "Let me hear the decision," he shouted. Portia gave the decision. 1 pound of the merchant's flesh is yours. It is what the contract says. You may take his flesh. Shylock held his knife and told Antonio to get ready. "Wait," exclaimed Portia. "You will not do anything that is not written in the contract. Is that right, Shylock?" "Yes, that's right," said Shylock. He wondered what the wise young judge was going to say. "Well," said the young judge, "I have read the contract carefully, and it does not say anything about taking his blood. It says a pound of flesh. You can take your pound of flesh, but you may not take 1 drop of his blood. If you take any of his blood, the Duke will take everything you own." Now it was Graziano's turn to bless the judge and call him wise. "Did you hear that, Shylock?" he asked. "What a wise judge!" "You wanted justice," Portia told Shylock, "and you will have it. You will have more justice than you wanted." Shylock didn't want to give everything he owned to the Duke. He decided not to take his pound of flesh. He said he would take the money. "Give me $90,000, he said, "and I will have mercy on the merchant and let him go." Bassanio was happy to give him the money. "Here it is," he said. "I have it ready for you." He was very pleased that his friend Antonio would not die. Portia, however, had more to say. "Wait," she said again. "He does not want the money. It is not written in the contract, and he said that he would not do anything that was not written in the contract. Shylock, you can take your pound of flesh, just as the contract says." "Why are you waiting?" she asked. Shylock said he just wanted to have his money back. "Just give me the money I lent you. I won't even demand interest," he said. He was beginning to feel sick. Bassanio was ready to give it to him, but again Portia stopped him. "He said in front of us all that he did not want the money. He wanted only the penalty that is in the contract." Shylock understood that he would not get his pound of flesh. He understood that he would not get his money. He decided to go home. "Wait," said Portia for the third time. "The law of Venice says that if you plan to kill a citizen of Venice, you will lose everything that you own. Half of what you have will belong to the person you tried to kill, and the other half will belong to the Duke. Not only that, but the Duke is the only person who can save you from death, if he decides to have mercy on you. You should ask the Duke for mercy." Graziano thought Shylock should kill himself, but the Duke did not agree. "I will show you what it means to be a Christian," he said. "I give you mercy before you ask for it. You will live, but half of everything you own is now Antonio's, and the other half belongs to me." "No," shouted the moneylender. "Please kill me. If you take my house and everything I own, you are taking my life anyway. You may as well kill me." Portia asked Antonio if he could have any mercy on Shylock. Antonio answered that he did not want half of everything that Shylock owned. He just wanted to borrow some money and use it to do business. Then he would give it to Lorenzo and Jessica when Shylock died. But Shylock must first become... Antonio answered that he did not want half of everything that Shylock owned. He just wanted to borrow some money and use it to do business. Then he would give it to Lorenzo and Jessica when Shylock died. But Shylock must first become a Christian, he added. The Duke said that if Shylock did not agree to do what Antonio said, he would take back his mercy, and Shylock would die. Shylock realized that he had no choice. He agreed. Portia told Nerissa to write a contract for this. Shylock said he didn't feel well. He went home. He was really feeling sick.
Okay, guys, so I will rephrase what had happened in the rest of the chapter. Just a second. Okay. Portia asked Antonio if he wanted to say anything. He said that just wanted to say goodbye to his friend Bassanio and asked Bassanio to tell his wife that he was a good friend. Bassanio was very sad, remembering that Antonio borrowed the money to help him. Bassanio said he would die in Antonio's place or even give up his wife if this would help Antonio. Graziano said the same. Portia and Nerissa, disguised, were not happy to hear this. Bassanio was very sad because what will happen to his friend Antonio. He and Graziano said that they would risk their life, give their money, and give even their wives to rescue Antonio. Who was present now, in this time, guys? Portia and Nerissa. They were disguised as men, but at the same time, they listened to what their husbands had said, and they were not happy to hear that. Shylock thought that they were not good husbands, and thought that Lorenzo would be like them. This made him angry again as he remembered Jessica and that she hurt him. Portia gave the decision that Shylock would take a pound of flesh from Antonio's flesh. Then she asked Shylock whether he would do anything that was not written in the contract, and he said yes. So she took the compromise